All right, y'all. Let's get into this Mariah story because I already heard, based off of what some of y'all are saying, y'all not necessarily feeling the song, but I like it. When I first heard, I'm like, okay. First, I was like, Harper, who this woman? Because I was like, this don't sound like Mariah. Me and Mariah go back like babies and pacifiers. It didn't sound like her, but Mariah was giving us straight up Bianca in that song, and then she had me pulling out the damn thesaurus. I'm like, here she go with these crazy ass words. Cause I was just like, what the hell's a rigmarole? So here she go with these damn, this stuff. But look, she's back. The lambs are eating it up. And yes, I do agree. It didn't sound like her. And I saw like some of y'all would say this sound like a hint of a song. But then again, if you think about it, remember once upon a time, this was a Mariah sound. She was going into the whole hip hop, soft, vocals, but she wasn't going full on like vocal masturbation. Like I always say about Christina Aguilera, it's like, bitch, we know you can sing. You don't need to always show it off. And Mariah's getting at that age where her voice is not where it used to be. Because I've heard y'all say up in here saying Mariah be sounding the best sometimes. This is not my words. This is what some of the people be saying. And I am the people's host. So when a lot of people complain about that stuff, now you go in and Mariah is just like, you know what, I just want to have a little fun. And I was sitting there too. Like, I hope with this album, she's not out here. You don't need to prove nothing. You have a long, extensive catalog. Just get out here, channel in Miss Bianca from back in the day, and have a little fun with it. And it seemed like she's having fun to the point where vocally it don't even sound like her on this song. And yeah, a lot of people saying like, oh yes, it's like, oh, it sounds like Jennifer Lopez, and she's giving Jennifer Lopez vibes and stuff. And I'm like, remember, this was a sound that she came up with before Tommy Mottola was trying to be a mess and basically was sabotaging. So he went in and like some of the samples she wanted to use in Clear, he would actually go and get those samples. And he actually got Hannaford in the studio with Murder Inc. And Irv got him, and he rest in peace and all other stuff. And they started working on giving that whole vibe and that whole sound to Jennifer Lopez. So no shade, I definitely could see like why people would think that this do sound like a song that J Lo could actually do in the studio. And I'm sure Jennifer heard this song and gagged because like, damn, this would have been a good song that I could have gotten my vocals on. But you already know Mariah's that bitch. And I didn't even know she was doing a lot of promotion and stuff around this song too, because I was over on the gram and I was looking at some of the stories and stuff. But yeah, Mariah was on Ryan Seacrest. She went on Big Boy Show. She's been promoting the hell out of this song. So look, it's been 7 years since we got Caution. So she released a song called Type Dangerous, as you can see in the headline. And between the beat and the lyric, she seems to single a brand new era, you know, out. Now fans are losing it in the best way possible to the song. Her Instagram comments are filmed with praise and fire emojis. One saying she's coming for the whole rap game with this track. Oh, and she's teaching many of them a brand new word to add to their vocabulary. Apparently, I now know rigmarole, and suddenly everything is a rigmarole, even breakfast. When I first heard that word, I'm like, what in the rigmarole is going on? Like, what is she talking? Rigor who? Rigor what? Rigor who? So, shout out to Jay-Z for Jigga what? So I'm like, Rigor who? Rigor what? Rigor Morris? No, it's rigmarole. I'm like, girl, I wonder if she actually looked up that word before she used it. So let me try to go up in the thesaurus and try to find the craziest word that I can throw up in here and use it in a sentence. And then one person said, who would turn down a vocab lesson like that? And then it said, the new single comes as a surprise for many fans since Carey has spent the last several weeks celebrating the 20th anniversary of her Emancipation of Mimi album. But now she's switching gears and making a major comeback. Carey first started teasing Type Dangerous earlier this week when she posted a short clip on social media that showed her sitting in the car listening to her song It's Like That before switching to a new, previously unheard track, which, of course, got the children gagging over the fact that she was doing that. So, um, So it was like, oh, and it says, though the 56-year-old music legend hasn't officially announced that a new album, which could be her 16th, is on the way. The new single is a pretty good hint that she's got something up her sleeve. And considering the fact that the license plate on the car in the video above reads M16, it seems like an announcement is imminent. And here's the thing. I was like, yeah, if she's dropping a song, we already know that Mariah is planning on releasing that there's gotta be a album not too far behind. But if there is a new album coming, I do hope that, you know, it's as good as a song. I know a lot of people wasn't really feeling it. Upon first listen, I was like, okay, this is a bang. I was living for the beat. I live for the sample. I think it's a Slick Rick sample that is on the song. But I always like when Mariah always tapped into her whole hip hop vibe, because remember, she was kind of the girl that pretty much started that whole situation of like blending hip hop samples with like those soft, sexy vocals, whatever, where she didn't want to go full out with the thing. I also like that Mariah back in the day, and I told her whenever she would remix her songs for a house track with David Morales, that she would go in the studio and re-record her vocals specifically for that remix, so that way it felt fresh and new. So Mariah was always out here running game, pushing boundaries, all the other stuff. And we all know, like, Emancipation of Mimi is like, I like a lot of Mariah's contemporary stuff, but I always like more like when she went a little more edgier with her sound. So when she came up with Emancipation of Mimi, that's like one of my all-time favorite records. I can't believe it's been 20 years since that record. But I'm looking forward to Miss Rigmarole or Rigmarole has up her sleeve with the rest of the record. So I definitely want to hear from y'all. What do you guys think of this story? Are y'all out here loving this new song? I see that Michelle Visage jumped up in the comments. She was like, the Godra Kim, who's that? And at the Rule NYC references, I'm sat. I don't know who that is. I'm like, who is the Godra Kim? Oh, the God Rakim. Oh my God, I am so slow. I'm like, who's the God Rakim? The God Rakim and the Rule NYC. I'm thinking that's Ja Rule, right? Oh no, Slick Rick. Duh, I'm bugging. Okay, y'all can just take away my rap card because I'm just like, but I'm like, I don't be knowing, a lot of, I don't know the Instagram handles, but it's like, yeah, there's definitely Rakim references, old school hip hop. I love that whole vibe. Um, and yeah, Slick Rick. Slick Rick has always been one of my all-time favorite rappers. First of all, I used to have to sneak like I think my brother had like a little My First Sony, and I don't know how my sister got it, but she wound up getting like a burned cassette tape of a Slick Rick's music. And I used to sit up and then I used to listen to a lot of Slick Rick and recite them words, because it was a lot of profanity, a lot of stuff on that. And when you're a little kid, you just be so happy that you hear bad words and things of that nature. And you be up in there reciting that stuff real quiet, because if my mother heard me up in there saying the stuff that Slick Rick was saying in his lyrics, oh, my lips would have been beating me to the hospital. So with a lot of those references and stuff in there, I live for it. And so I was like, what other comments people was making? Oh, B Scott said pal, you know, eating. There's Juju B posted something, B Zahara Benet, Lee Daniels. I don't have time for the rigmarole. She's the definition of period. That's a money long. D Nice, the queen is back. Time to do the WAP. Time for Jeeps with Dapper Dan and Fury. And that's kind of what this feels like. It feels like one of those songs that you just, you cruising down the road in your car, hence like we see in the little lyric video, and you just blasting the song. It's got that old school summer vibe. So but the question remains, so we can hurry up and get up off this. People have been bitching and moaning about that there's no song of the summer. And that song of the summer whole thing is stupid. Even though it's getting mixed reviews with some people, mostly the Lamps is living for it, do y'all think that Type Dangerous has the wherewithal, the ability to be that song of the summer? Let me know in the comments down below.